Hey everybody. In today's video we are going to talk about how I build a team for the green raid boss, or the corrupted Nagash, I believe is how you would pronounce that. And we're just going to go through really basic stuff about the team building that I use and kind of how I move tiles. I'm just going to do like a little bit at the beginning of a hit. But most importantly, I wanted to say that I hope every one of you had a wonderful new year. I hope that 2022 brings you love and joy and peace and just all the things that you would desire. So having said that, it's cheesy, but whatever. Anyway, here we go. Thanks. Hi everyone. So in this video we are going to talk about the green raid boss, the corrupted Nagash, and how I personally built a team to hit this particular raid boss, why I built it this way, and then I'm just going to show you a little bit of my tile move strategy, I guess. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the actual raid boss itself. So these are the stats for this raid boss. Now keep in mind this is a very baby raid boss because we just started our new guild, so we're going against little tiny guys. The stats do increase as the raid boss gets bigger, so keep that in mind. We're going to talk about the abilities of this bad boy. So whenever he goes off, he deals damage to all enemies. There's a 25% chance to decrease the mana of all enemies by 30% twice. And then he removes all negative statuses from himself. So whenever he fires his special, he's going to take all these negative statuses that we're going to throw at him and cleanse himself entirely. So whenever you're going through and you're hitting, try to keep in mind when the raid boss is going to fire and look at what heroes you have ready to go, because it might be better if you wait until after the raid boss fires his special to then, when it's your turn, fire what you need. I hope that made any sense. I kind of rambled. And so there is the Nagash's hide decreases. The defense is decreased by 7% for every negative status put on him. He gains 20 mana at the start of the turn. He is immune to decreased defense, stun, silence, sleep, and freeze. And all damage based on max health point or missing health point he receives is reduced 600 times. That is based on an attacker that is based on his health point, not their own health point. Just to clarify. And then their speed doubles after the first turn of the battle. So with this one, we don't have the ability to do negative defense or defense down, but for every negative status that we put on him, his defense will decrease by 7%. So whenever I'm building my team, keep in mind I want to have negative statuses on it. So when I build it, I want to do attack up and then kind of create my own defense down, and then have my attackers that go based on that. So I try not to stack more than 4 of one color in a team, just because the mana gain is just not really worth it at that point to me. So I'm going to start with Hempe, who does defense up and attack up. Kusai is going to throw some negative statuses. Same with Lurker, who's also going to do damage. If he's fired and there's a burn status that's already on the enemy, his attack goes up. So I like him a lot for this raid boss. And then there's Eldred, whose attack increases based on how many negative statuses are on the particular opponent. And the same with Klaus. So I like to think about it as I need to put a lot of negative statuses on the raid boss in order to get that defense down. That's a really huge deal. But I also want to have firepower. So the heroes that I choose for my firepower are their attack increases based on the negative statuses. And then down, if you look at the potions that I have in here, I have just the basic mana pot and health pot, just because you never know when you're going to need it. But I use the toxic extract and the toxic vial as well, because those are going to help put negative statuses on this raid boss. And then I'm going to change this to the red dragon, to the vermin, because and because I have Lurker, if I can get this fire damage in there, the burn damage going, then Lurker is going to have stronger hits. And then also decrease resistance on the enemy as well. So because I'm wanting to inflict all these negative statuses, I'm going to want to have that the resistance lowered. So that's the one that we're going to use for this. So we're going into the fight. Alright, so not a lot of red to start off with, but that's okay. We can kind of manipulate the board. And if you look up at the top, you're going to see what order everybody goes in. So I have 2 heroes that are in front of the raid boss, which is really nice. The raid boss does get bigger, their speed goes up. So the higher the raid boss, the harder it is to get in front of them in line as speed goes. So because I know I have 2 turns, I know I'm definitely going to make this red match. And then round. So actually the move that it's suggesting is the one that I was going to do next. So I'm going to swap these out. That gives me the set of 4 yellows and then the purple over here. And then I am going to blue. Okay. So now I know his turn comes next. So in my head, I want to eliminate any possible tiles or green gems that he could use. So I'm going to bring this down here. I'm going to bring that up there, and then I'm going to do this red. Like all kinds of crazy yellow stuff. So it is now his turn. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and fire Kasai. I'm going to use a toxic extract and a toxic vial to go ahead and get that negative status going. This is not a very particularly... Alright, so I'm going to make this green match that it's telling me to do. I'm going to bring this purple down. And then I'm going to make a green. Okay. Alright, so Hembe, we're going to do attack up, defense up. I'm going to focus on clearing out the board right now because it's just really not favorable. Alright, so we're going to do this. I'm going to bring this over and make that match there. So whenever I'm doing this, I'm kind of thinking about trying to make matches to where I can fire my heroes, but also I want to clear out the board of stuff that I don't want. Excuse me. So we are going to fire the vermin because we're going to get that burn damage up, which means that when I set off Lurker, his damage will be a little bit higher because I did that. Okay. I'm going to go and I'm going to use... I'm going to fire Eldred and Klaus. So sorry, guys. And... let's see. Gonna make this green. And then I'm going to set this there. Alright, so pretty standard. I do use mana occasionally just simply because I want my heroes to fire when I want them to sometimes. So sorry. So that's pretty much the basic of what I do as far as this particular raid boss. I'm really glad that you were able to watch this with me, or watch me talk about stuff and ramble and whatnot. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, just go ahead and leave those in the comment section. I love getting feedback, whether it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter. Anything is going to help me get better. And I really do appreciate anybody who watches all the way to the end. That's awesome. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you have an excellent day.